gem farm account. My previous video I explained why this 400 million account is actually a gem farm. I have the world's worst time trying to even make him look scary, because he's not. I don't even really want to bother about training too many troops for him, but I do like making gems, and I've kind of been neglecting him lately. Colosseum is a great place to make gems. I thought let's have a look at some of the collo tips that I can give you. I'm not going to call myself an expert or anything. So, like, here we've got a guy who's got no heel. He's got a green Boommeister. Now, I see chance for this. I'm going to match that. I'm going to match the Boommeister, and remember, green can beat blue. But now here's where I'm going to go slightly off the plot. I'm going to include the silver Grove Guardian. And why, if this is a free-to-play channel, well, you could have got silver Grove Guardian. You're always going to use Rose pretty much every battle you fight, because she protects your troops in the early minutes. And then obviously we're going to try and get an advantage here by including a healer. He's got nothing that's jumping to the back in this lineup, so I think my back row is pretty safe. Let's see how it goes. Need to get this guy up, because I want to share those gems with myself. It's really not worth actually even spending them on him. But yeah, nice account. I've doubled its might since I got it. When I say nice account, it looks nice. It looks very smart. It's even got a nice castle skin. And there goes my healer. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm hoping to get the advantage. Grove Guardian is evil, even at silver. He does a lot of damage when he lets loose that ultimate best. Okay, my healer's looking a little bit iffy. And there she goes. But I've now got a heal advantage. And this guy has not been able to heal right through. I think I've got this. Let's just watch it to the bitter end, because, yeah, all kinds of things can happen. There's a throw of the dice. There definitely is. Got him. So that's going to bring me up a little bit. And with the increased collar ranking, better gems earnings, let's find another target. Okay, I really don't like witch doll lure weaver combinations. I can beat them sometimes if I've got no option, but they are a bit unpredictable, and I kind of prefer to miss it. Here we've got another guy. He's got Bunny. Bunny, by the way, is quite vulnerable to Snow Queen, but she's not boosted in this constellation. So let's try take Bunny down with my current combo, which includes the dwarf guy. And he's not bad. He's very nice infantry hero. That guy in the front, that big tank. He's quite a nice infantry hero. Does a lot of damage in Collo. He was one of the last heroes that I upgraded on my account, because he wasn't that useful. He wasn't that useful to me at the time in monster hunting. Number one, and number two, I wasn't really an infantry specialist. But I mean, at some time you're going to start working on your infantry, even if you're going range cav. That's a beautiful 3-crowned. Okay, let's go again. A lot of people think that this is totally random, and there is a random element, but you can load the dice in your favor. Let's do this again. Again, we're relying on the healer to give us the advantage. It doesn't always, because the healers don't hit hard. Especially Prima. Prima sort of hits like a wet paper bag. Lure Weaver does a bit more damage, but she's slower to heal, which is why even in this account, which has a purple Lure Weaver, I very often rely on the Prima, because she heals faster, and you need that quick heal. There she goes. Alright. And there goes this guy. And the constellations, I really think that the dynamic there has changed. I can't say I was really paying a great deal of attention, but I've been playing for 4 years, and there was a time when you could just ignore the constellation practically, and just work tactically on what do these heroes do when they're in the Colosseum. How do they behave, and how can you gain an advantage on your opponent? But recently I've found that, whether I'm wrong or right, I've found that the constellation is having a greater effect than it used to, and I've even manage to bulldoze my way in sometimes with all constellation lineups, which I don't necessarily agree with most of the time, but there's just times when you just do this no-brainer thing and it kind of works. Okay, now this guy does have a healer, but he's using Death Knight, and let's say on a balance, Death Knight is not that good of a hero. I'm inclined to say that this dwarf guy absorbs more damage and does more damage. So I'm going to rely on the fact that in this instance we've got a guy who's got Death Knight up front. I don't know if I'm going to win. Like I say, there's always a throw of the dice. But up till now in this constellation, I've pretty much seen that, you know, if I've guys coming at me with Death Knight, I go at him with a gold dwarf guy. then I'm going to win most of the time. And like I said, there's always this dice throw. I've already gone in with a combination that I'm pretty sure should win. It lost miserably. Totally wiped me out. And then I just go back. I don't change a thing. I don't change a hero. I don't do anything. I play exactly the same battle again against the same player, and this time I win. So it's just like there is a dice throw in there, but you can load the dice with your tactics. And the way you do this by looking at what they do, what damage do they do, what makes them go down. This one is going to be close. We're down to 43 seconds. And the healers are kind of perpetuating things here. But I've got his Death Knight. And we're going forward. Now this should be the beginning of the end for this guy. I've got him. Awesome. So this is just an example that you can use silver heroes in Collo. It's most important to rank them up. Silver heroes can be seriously difficult to get past. A couple of times I've seen guys with silver heroes and I'm like, oh wow, and like, yeah, it just isn't working for me. Oh. And of course, guards are always an easy way to get back up. It looks like a couple of people are leaving this kingdom. So, you know, if you want the most basic tip that there is, the most basic tip is just keep changing. It costs you nothing. Keep changing your opponents and look for guards. In the early days, quite often I used to get quite high up in Collo just by looking for guards. It's the most basic tip. The more advanced tip is to watch what the different heroes do, who is susceptible to what kills what, how do they behave, and also bearing in mind that every time the constellation changes, that behavior might also change. For example, Snow Queen usually fires backwards at Demon Slayer, but I've been in constellations already that she doesn't do that. She's supposed to do it, but she doesn't. I'm expecting her to turn around once Demon Slayer has jumped into my back row, freeze him, and then I put the whammy on him. And it just doesn't happen. So kind of fun and interesting playing Collo. I actually love it. And there are days when I want to throw my phone, but today is a good day, and I can easily get this guy. I can easily get him up, I think, to level 100 because he's still got his ready to rumble. He's got 10 tries hiding right there. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, there you go, 10 Colosseum entries. I've been neglecting him a little bit, so also partly why he's walked through the guys so nicely here. We'll do a few more of these, but yeah, basic tips I can give you. Yes, your healer is important. You won't always use her, but Prima is great. Your tank, ideally just Rose Knight is the most important one. And after that, yeah, Death Knight I do sometimes use. But I really like the gold dwarf guy. He's pretty strong. But I wouldn't see either of those as being an essential. Demon Slayer is an essential. Your healer is an essential. Tracker is pretty much a safe bet in most Collo lineups. It's because she can handle so much damage and she does deal so much damage, but there are times that she really annoys me and I take her out of my lineup. Black Crow is fantastic, especially when she's got boosts, because she just does a heck of a lot of damage over a really wide area. Boommeister's pretty new on the scene, but I'm very impressed with Boommeister. He shoots slowly, but when he shoots, he does a heck of a lot of damage, and it's really impressive. Doesn't work with everything, but there are days when he does. And constellations where he does definitely do a great job. So do those Dragon Arena battles. You're going to love Boommeister in Collo, and he's going to make you some gems. Basic lineup, I would say, is Crow, Slayer, Rose, Prima, and Trickster to a certain point. He's also pretty good. But all of the heroes, I would say, with a couple of exceptions, do have their place. I'm inclined to say Shade is excellent. Shade is one of the last heroes that I leveled up. I don't really use, for example, the Raven guy. I forget his name. I don't really use him except as a cav attack hero. I use him there, but not in Collo. I don't use him. Bombing Goblin I use definitely as a range attack hero. I don't really use him in Collo, but he's given me a couple of nasty surprises when I'm facing other people. So yeah, check it out, try it out. Those basics, I would say, definitely Slayer, Rose Knight, Prima, maybe one other tank, which could be either Death Knight or the dwarf guy. I keep forgetting his name. There he is, up at the top. Soul Forger. He's really not bad. Tracker, definitely. Sea Squire, I hardly ever use. Elementalist, I never use. Demon Slayer, definitely use. Night Raven, no. Bombing Glob, no. Trickster sometimes. Scarlet Bolt can be really evil. I don't use as much as some people do, but she's pretty good. Shade is awesome. Incinerate is one of the girls that really takes down Demon Slayer in most constellations with a fireball there. Snow Queen, also great for taking out Demon Slayer in combinations, freezes him and puts a double whammy on him. And then after that, we kind of getting onto the pay heroes. I mean, look at this green Watcher. I had to start Watcher for this guy. He just wasn't interested for 2 years. This is a bit of a backwards account, but it does pretty well in Collo.